Hello everybody and welcome to our fourth installment of Trial of Trials with my favorite character in the game, Seven, and his weapon, the Cold Calculus. It is a triple burst fire medium range weapon of 20 to 58 meter weapon fall off, 10.8 bullet damage per shot, 5.83 bullets per second, 29 ammunition, 2.35 second reload time, and a 635 meters per second bullet velocity with a 50 light melee and 116 heavy melee. And here are his weapon vitality and spirit investments in case Valve decides to change them or make them differ between characters for whatever reason. And here we have the one, the dread of all deadlock, the lightning ball. You shoot a ball of lightning, travels in a straight line, does damage to all targets in the radius, slows down when damaging enemies, and stops if it hits the world, which is any physical solid terrain, which includes the spectral wall from McGinnis, and here are its upgrades. So here is generally how it's used. You just throw one ability and do a ton of damage to the wave, and if you can throw it on the floor of where something will be standing still, you'll get maximum damage out of it. Really good value for the cooldown. Another neat trick is long-ranged orbs, where you throw it to an enemy far away who's not expecting it, and it goes very quick when it doesn't hit anything. And here we have the two, or the second ability, Static Charge. You place a charge on somebody, and after a short delay, a AoE stun goes off on them and all the people around them. You don't really realize how long 0.9 seconds is until you really get this ability down. It's crazy. So what you want to do is have a charge of your orb ready, throw electric charge down, and then throw the orb right where they're going to be stunned at. Not a moment before and not a moment after, because then you'll be wasting two abilities on no damage. Here we have an active ability that modifies Seven's basic attacks with his gun. It does a little bit of shock damage base and adds jumps to the electric damage that it does. What this actually ends up doing is allowing you to do massive amounts of crowd control damage without throwing out your orbs and wasting them, so you can save them for your stun charges. Do not underestimate how much damage can be racked up by shooting minions while the enemies are hiding behind cover. You do not have to shoot them directly. It would be preferred, but you can get damage off on the enemies while shooting minions. This also helps proc an item that I love in the game, which is Mystic Regeneration. You get health, you get HP regen whenever you do damage to enemies with abilities, and given that Seven doesn't do a lot of super burst, he does a lot of dots, you can get this thing racked up and get yourself healed very quickly. And now we have the ultimate of ultimates, the end-all be-all of area denial, destruction, and damage over time. You dive into the enemy team, you pop this, and you pray that they don't have any stuns or lockdowns on their team. So given that this is the character that I have the most experience on, this is a character that I'm going to give like build tips for as best I can for this point in the game. And that is going to be extra charge, compressed cooldown, extra spirit, and restorative shot for early game, simply because of how you want to use your gun in combination with your abilities and how spirit power still builds you damage. But you do also need, with Mystic Regeneration, some more healing to keep you going, and restorative shot can help fill that gap. Not to mention that everyone sees you trying to go for ultimates and is going to do everything they can to stop you. They are going to take items specifically to stop you from successfully ulting, which means that you have another mandatory item that is an active item called Unstoppable. Take this every game, please. You cannot rely on your allies protecting you from Moe and Krill warp stoning onto you, Drifter warp stoning onto you, Doorman casting anvils on you from miles away. You need this so that you can actually get 5 seconds of ultimate time so that you have value. Keep in mind, though, that you cannot use an active item during a channeled ability without canceling the channeled ability, so activate the Unstoppable right before you press your ultimate button so that it is active while you're in the air. So what does an ultimate opportunity look like? Well, typically you throw your static charge out on the enemy, and then you press 4, and use the Thunderbolt to knock them back into you and shred their spirit resist. The whole time you are holding down the area of an entire lane by yourself. As you can see there, we got some great pressure off and stopped them from diving my graves. So I basically just save the lane by pressing 2 and then 4. Now here is what an aggressive use of the ultimate is like. I dive into Walker, throw an orb, and then I thunderbolt the enemies while letting my ult fully channel. And you can see that this guy is trying to stop me while my Mina is backing me up. I am holding down this whole corner by myself. Here you can see that I'm kind of feeling the pressure. There are enemies everywhere, and we are very boned. So what I do is I just ult to cover me and Graves while the whole enemy tries to stop me. As you can see, I get the Rem killed, I have health the Venator, and I do a ton of damage to the Mirage while he's trying to proc his passive on me. And then we have the absolutely amazing full enemy base ultimate where you just go in and try to kill everyone. Well, that's all I got for you today, and obviously you can see what my build is there at the end of the game, and it's honestly pretty fun. This is my most enjoyable character, and the general consensus is if you like this character, you're crazy, so do with that what you will.